We're live.
Oh my god. I haven't done this in ages. I don't know what to say. Good evening, everybody. This may be a surprise to some of you, but yes, it's me and Ryan King here. Hello. As promised, because this is like a feedback as I click the YouTube link and it's gone live there now. But hi guys, it's Andre Harrison here and Ryan King, as I'm sure you know, from the Motorsport 101 podcast. Given our season of shows has come to an end for the year, basically, week, kinda. We thought we'd celebrate this occasion by having a little Google Hangout with you guys and having basically a live version of Keeping It 101. We'll just hang out for a couple of hours. We'll talk some F1. We'll talk some sports. Who knows? And I've the much requested story about me as well in story time with Dre, which I promised I'd do as well on this point at some point during this hangout as well. Say hello, Ryan.
Yep. Hey guys, doing well. Relaxed my day, covering up for Dre forgetting how to set up Google Hangouts.
Listen, it changed, okay? Like that's the hill I choose to die on, and that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, I know that they changed around how you do Google Hangouts from the days when I was doing around the corner and doing like Google Hangouts a lot more often. But like King actually showed me how to do it last time, and I've already since forgotten because I'm terrible when it comes to remembering these things. And King's just looking at me in such a condescending fashion right now as we speak. I'm sorry, okay. I can't do everything. Stay in your lane, Dre. Stay in your lane. But hey, guys in the chat, hope you guys are doing all right. Here already, you guys are proactive. Just checking the chat real quick as well. Driver of the live stream, Max Verstappen. It begins. King, he's your favorite driver now, isn't he?
Nope, never.
Back in Further 99, hello sir. Hi Brian Glennon. Rhino GT4 is here. Hi Ryan, nice to see you. Miles, nice to see you sir. Patreon backer and friend of the show as always. Vic is here, the Ravenmeister. How are you guys doing? I'm not bad. I am not bad. I am feeling extremely heavy because I demolished an entire box of Rocco's Pizza literally less than an hour ago, and I'm already feeling the after effects. But besides that, I'm good. I'm good. Hope you guys doing great. We have a dislike already. How dare they? Guys, do something about that. Firecrest came in. Hello, sir. Matt is here from MSTF1. Skeletor is here. Hello, Matt. Nice to see you as well. And yeah, we're just gonna basically shoot the shit for a couple of hours. That's always the most like people don't know this. Like I have the most amount of fun doing Keeping It 101 compared to any other segment because Motorsport often gets on my goddamn nerves. So like I know that Keeping It 101 will never annoy me unless Johnson goes off on one about V8 supercars again. In that case, may have to kill him. Basically.
Hey, good thing we're not recording one this week because NASCAR has a new logo.
Oh wow! They moved the colors like 3 inches to the left, and that's their idea of a new logo.
You have not seen the internet reaction.
I saw Matt quite condescendingly bash it on Twitter yesterday. Like, what's the reaction been like then?
Terrible. Like they're like, why they changed it? I like the old one. Like you think you think F1 fans hate change?
Oh dear! Like, there are certain jokes you can make about NASCAR's fan base when it comes to maybe being a little bit on the prehistoric side of things. But yeah, F1 fans, we come from an audience that hates change. I can't imagine what the NASCAR audience is feeling right now. I've just seen that. That is like, oh my god, that is like so.
It's not even that bad.
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine for what it is. But it's like, I just find it amazing that people are that incensed about this. Then again, this is NASCAR. I really shouldn't be surprised.
Next year in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, because that's the name now.
Yeah, that's the name now. ABCDEFG asks, why has the mailbag disappeared from the podcast? Apologies for that. It's only been because we've had to cut stuff out of the show. We basically didn't want to be like the Joe Rogan experience where every show is like 3 hours. Otherwise, Johnson will rag on us at every given opportunity. Like he kills us almost on a weekly basis when we talk about how long the show ends up going. It's kind of become like a running joke that we keep thinking these shows are going to be short, and they end up being really, really long. You may have noticed that our latest episode, the last season finale, was 2 hours and 37 minutes long. Which, like, if we had a mailbag, it could have been touching 3 hours. And at that point, I mean, that's just a little bit on the ridiculous side. I know it's only a once a week kind of show, so 3 hours isn't all that bad in the grand scheme of things compared to someone like I said, like Joe Rogan himself that does, God, I think, what was it, 2-3 shows a week he does these days? And that's 3 hours at a time, so you're getting like 9 hours of content a week. That's just too much.
that's WWE levels of content oversaturation.
It's the WWE network of podcasting. It's a bit like Bill Simmons, who's got all these different shows on his network now. He's got like friggin' 8 or 9 different shows. But as Triple H said on the network these days, they're not expecting you to watch everything. So
there's no way you would be into basketball, soccer, and American politics while also being a massive Game of Thrones fan.
that just wouldn't work, would it? But I completely agree. It's absolutely again. It's like so. Apologies for the lack of a mailbag in recent times. It will be back in the new series. Well, I guess the new season whenever we officially kick that off, probably next March. It will be back. It's just we had to cut a lot of stuff out because we knew we were going to go long on certain episodes towards the end of the year. So apologies for that. Let's have a look at the rest of the chat here. So hi Swordfish, nice to see you. Hi Marius. Oh yeah, the new logo. The old one is 40 years old. It's time to change it up. I didn't realize it was as old as that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Like I think in the little reveal video, they ran through all of NASCAR's old logos, and I think NASCAR's had 5 logos, and the last one lasted 40 years, while the other one lasted I think 10 to 20 years.
That's crazy. Kind of cool. Like I don't mind the whole continuity thing, but it's exciting. It's a new era. You got to have you got to get all this monster sponsorship in. I wonder how much grid goals we're going to get in NASCAR next year.
Oh god!
Monster they love themselves some grid goals. Have you ever seen like Tech 3 during MotoGP and Monster Energy's involvement? There are so many grid goals. It's the tackiest thing in the world. Ask Zara, she'll tell you.
You'd assume they'd be winning championships by the amount of grid girls they have showing up.
What? And then they're so mediocre in MotoGP, and yet they put on all the big press events of 15 scantily clad women in swimming pools. It's the tackiest thing in the world.
The thing is, if you watch Supercross, where Monster Energy is also the title sponsor, they're gonna be everywhere. Even random promo videos, and they have interviews with Miss Monster Energy Supercross.
Oh dear. Yep, I can totally imagine that being a thing.
I think one of the comments I saw on the NASCAR subreddit when they announced that that Monster Energy was going to be the new title sponsor was that so Miss Sprint Cup is no longer going to be in a fire suit anymore.
No! How dare they? I can imagine that being a thing. Brian Glennon, driver of the year, Carlos Sainz Jr. Who pulled for that again? Was it Johnson that made the case for Carlos Sainz when we recorded the episode?
It was me.
It was you. I don't blame you. Again, Carlos Sainz is definitely in my top 2 or 3 for what it's worth, Brian. So a very, very fair shout if that helps you. Frido GT4 says, remember, if there's ever a problem with the podcast, #blame Johnson. Good man. Rhino is on brand as always. Good man. Rainmeister says, he also said, meanwhile, the show continues to be almost 3 hours despite your best efforts. Yeah, unfortunately, it's a problem. We do talk a lot, but it's good conversation.
Yeah.
Take that, Skip.
It's if we could do 2 shows a week, we probably would.
Well, anyway.
There's a whole lot of problems circling around that.
Yeah, that could be issues. Like Johnson would literally try to kill me instead if I proposed the idea of 2 shows a week.
Yeah. So guys, back us on Patreon so we can do this full time and do it like 2 shows a week.
Yeah, back us more, give us more money. No, I'm joking. Only 3 hours. You guys would probably go for 5. Yeah, we probably would, Vic. Yeah. We probably would. Well, I have thought about those occasions before. Seeing it, checking the chat real quick as well. Yeah, Miles saying sports fans in general hate change. Look at people complaining about technology in football. God, yeah, that I got into a right old discussion during the Club World Cup where they tested video linesmen for the first time. So Ronaldo scores a goal late in the game, you know, good old Ronaldo and whatnot. Then what happens is that the referee's not sure whether Ronaldo was offside or not. So he goes like this. He's going, okay, so this call for the TV referee. Very cricket moment kind of here. They check the video footage. Ronaldo is onside. The goal stands. That's all great. And it's like, oh, look, video referee. Football's keeping up with the world. And then people on Facebook are like, oh, this is terrible. It's going to ruin the game. I'm like,
how dare Ronaldo score when he was justified?
Exactly. So, you know, people got really like football for some reason is the one sport that is just so sacred when it comes to.
Oh, no. You have not seen baseball. You have not seen.
Oh, God, yeah, actually, you make a good point. Yeah, on second thought, you win this one, King. America wins this one. Yeah, baseball's really bad for that, but football over here in Europe, like, it's like the one sacred sport where we can't have video influence. People will shoot that down at every opportunity. We had to fight for years before we even got goal line technology, and that, like, there is no downside to goal line technology. And people were like saying it's going to ruin the game, and it's like, why? Oh, it was terrible. It's
like
terrible.
This game, like goal line technology has changed nothing. You can still have like incredible near line stops, like what Megan Klingenberg in the last World Cup.
Why did I know you mentioned that? Yeah, very, very true. Like if a ball's not over the line, you'll still get amazing goal line clearances. It's just now we know for sure whether it's gone over the line or not. There was so many dubious ones. Real talk, we shouldn't have won a World Cup because of one. Shh. Don't tell anyone that.
It's like that. You shouldn't have won a World Cup and won. You should have advanced further in another World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. That third goal in '66 was technologically proven to have not crossed the line fully. Yet here we are.
Here we are. And somehow the German people were nice enough not to declare war over it.
Oh, good. Very reassuring. But yeah, absolutely. Just going for the chat real quick. Oh, Nora's here. Hello, Nora. Nice to see you, man. So let's say everything. Us in Connor Daly hype team up in here. That's Brennan. Good to see you, sir. Rookie of the Year, Connor Daly, of course. If you listen to our latest podcast. Let's have a look here. Shameless plugs by King. How cute. Very true. This is Vic saying, you guys are still alive after King put Senna at 5 on your all-time top 10 list. I think you'd be fine.
I think that's... Yeah, that was probably one of our more popular early episodes.
It was our 8th ever show, and I remember specifically, I thought you were going to get us killed when you put Sebastian Vettel above Ayrton Senna on our all-time list, and I thought, oh God, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're going to get lynched for this, King.
I know we said we would, I remember we said we would revisit it this offseason because, like, now that we have Johnson on the show, he's never revealed his top 5.
Indeed, and Lewis Hamilton is almost like guaranteed to be in that top 10 somewhere because he wasn't in either of our lists when we did it in 2014. But now he's won 3 more titles and got 50-plus wins to his name. He's definitely in that top 10, I would argue. It's just going to be a matter of where exactly he'd be in that top 10. And that's what I've been scratching my head over for the last couple of weeks.
To be honest, I think one certain Brazilian has unfortunately slid down one spot.
Oh, we're going to
die! Are we going to die? We have the ham capers backing us up this time.
Are you sure about that's the one thing that will conflict a ham caper is mentioning him in the same conversation as him. Like, because Hamilton was inspired by him, so they're going to be so conflicted. So, oh, jeez, I don't even know. Like that would be. Oof. I think it's a good idea. I think it's something we should definitely do in the off season for sure. That would be very interesting. Going back to the chat for a minute. Yep, Frank Lampard's 2010 World Cup goal, definitely a prime example of that one. That one was definitely over the line. Every camera angle proved it, and it was never given. And that was a key part of the game as well. Let's have a look at saying, I'll admit this year was my first full season watching F1, and I picked a good one overall, 7 out of 5 out of 10. In North Carolina, in grading, that's a C+. I just got a tweet from Vic saying, 2012-16, the day Harrison 101 HD and Ryan King signed their death warrants.
It's like we sign our warrants, someone to come enforce them.
Yep, it's like somebody's got to fade out for me right now as we speak. Someone is out to kill me. Question is who? That says Firecrest Gaming asks, what do you guys want on your gravestones? I'll have mine says Andre Harrison, 1992 to 2016, and the quote will be in comments, Vettel was better. That'll be mine. I'll let you guys pick kings. Saying it, Matt is gonna fucking murder you guys. Johnson is in the chat, by the way. Great, we can't diss him anymore. Damn. Johnson, get your ass on the chat, and like he's there 3 messages above us now, saying close enough, Matt. Saying Joe Ellis is going to be ready for the Sonic return, AJ as well. That's going to be fun. So yeah, Johnson at Bomber Sports Plays is in the chat. He just said, "Since when has my presence ever stopped you?" You make a good point there, Johnson. Like I can't deny this. So we've got to talk a little bit of F1 while we're around here, obviously, and it looks like it's confirmed now that Pat Simons is out at Williams. And it's like the full reboot is underway at Williams now. Smedley's gone, Massa's gone? Question mark. But it's looking like he could be coming back.
How's that gonna look? How is that gonna look to the fans?
Oh my god! I just like that Brazilian Grand Prix was such a beautiful send off for Felipe Massa. He gets a standing ovation from half the pit lane as he's walking back down. The shots of him holding the flag are beautiful. It's a wonderful tribute to one of the real nice guys in Formula One over the last 15 years. And he's back next year. What do you mean he's back next year?
Like, Felipe doesn't quit again.
Yeah, it's the second time he's at it now. It's just Boomerang Massa, always coming back. And then Vic in the chat just saying, I'm about as big a Felipe Massa fan as your brother Dre, and even I don't want him back. It's true. And it says, and Adam in the chat says, it will be as bad as Ric Flair wrestling in TNA 9 months after his WrestleMania 24 farewell. That's a very good point. I remember that. He was in TNA less than a year after he had that beautiful, like the greatest retirement send-off in the history of professional wrestling. Ric Flair had every legend alive you could still think of honor him. The whole roster came out. It was beautiful. Joins TNA like 9 months later because he needed the money. It's like, it's just, I despair. I have no beef with Felipe Massa, and I feel like he's probably thinking he's doing the team a favor by coming back, because it seems the real issue here is that Williams kind of put themselves in a corner with this Martini deal, that they can't have 2 younger drivers, even though the average age of the field is getting younger and younger by the year, and 25 is a little bit on the low side. But Massa coming back alongside Lance Stroll, like, that just seems uninspiring to me, King, doesn't it? It just seems just meh.
Yeah, like I think on Twitter, Mark Webber said they should sign a LMP1 driver, and I'm like, no, Mark, no.
Hang on, somebody has joined us. Is that how I think it is down there?
Yes, it is.
Johnson is here. Oh, jeez. I was getting away to a nice Johnson-free video call, and no, you had to go and spoil our fun by joining us. Thanks a bunch, Johnson. Oh, jeez. Take care, ABCDFG. Sorry you couldn't stick around for longer. But, yeah, like, it's as bad as that. Like, we mentioned the Taker retirement. Like, Johnson is not in just yet. I think he's eating his dinner. I think he said in the chat as well. But, yeah, it's like, take a bro character for him. Like, take a bro character for him. And he's still he's coming back in 9 months later. It's just, awful. And it's a good point as well. You guys in the chat, I think Miles mentioned it as well. Just the entire notion that Pascal Wehrlein just looks so bad coming off this driver market spree where, you know, he looked like he was going to fill the void for whoever, you know, Williams ended up taking, or, you know, whoever Mercedes ended up taking. But, oh dear, it's like Wehrlein is going to be, I guess Sauber might get him instead now. I guess. That seems really uninspiring as well.
Johnson with a question over our little hangout chat, saying that would there be any other viable replacement instead of Felipe Massa? Like any viable people over the age of 25?
There's not many. I mean, Mark Webber actually made a pretty valid point on his Twitter yesterday. Maybe someone from LMP1 would maybe like the opportunity to come over and drive for Williams. Maybe someone like Sebastian Buemi or Lucas Di Grassi, whose schedule suddenly got a lot lighter at the end of the year over at the Audi factory department. Maybe something like that could have worked instead of maybe going. I mean, I know Miles in the chat, I'll just mention Jenson Button's name, but then you realize, well, Jenson really wasn't that good this year at all. Like, he was thoroughly beaten from pillar to post by Fernando Alonso. And
the thing is, like, Williams currently have no drivers signed right now that they could just put in there as a replacement because Alex Lynn is also too young.
Yeah, Lynn is still, what, 23, I want to say?
23. So, and he's still, like, 23 is kind of old in F1 terms when he's too young to drive for them because of the contract.
No. Grill the Grid champion Jolyon Palmer made his debut at 24, okay? It's doable.
It's
doable. If Jolyon Palmer can do it, then why can't he? Yeah.
We have standards, goddammit.
Somebody asking me in the chat back first, asking how old is Buemi? I'm going to Google this real fast.
I want to say Buemi's 26 or 27.
He's 28.
Oh, he's 28? Damn.
He's 28. Yeah, he's actually like, gosh, I think he's something like, I didn't think he was that old. Like, was this booting out of Toro Rosso that long ago now? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
He was in the first wave of post-Seb young drivers to get kicked out of Red Bull.
Him and Alguersuari, and Alguersuari was like stupidly long. Like, Alguersuari was like booted out of F1 at what, 22? I want to say.
Yep.
And he ended up retiring. God, a couple of years later, just last year, he announced his retirement. He's only 26 now. His last season in F1 was 2011. And he's 26 now. So he was out of F1 at 21 years old. That's brutal. In and out. That's kind of crazy. But see people in the chat saying that, remember this time last year when Pascal was like the next Bianchi? That was fun. It was. It was.
It was good. But then they realized that there is a such thing as being too young for a top seat. There's no such thing as being too young for F1, but for like a championship winning drive, yeah, there's such thing as too young.
Yep, people are asking about Felipe Nasr. Felipe Nasr is 24, people.
Yeah, he was young.
Born literally. I'm literally 4 days older than Felipe Nasr. He was born August 21st, 1992. So he's 24. So Felipe Nasr is also too young for this seat, unfortunately. So apparently, according to Laura in the chat, in other news, Lucas Di Grassi just metaphorically said no to the Williams offer from Mark Webber.
Wow, yeah, I just saw the tweet come up on my timeline where it says to choose between fighting for championships in WEC and Formula E or just be a part of the grid in F1 in a small team. Formula E and WEC much more.
Wow, he called Williams a small team. That's.
I mean, if you're not even going to win a race, you might as well be a small team in F1.
True. That's one way of looking at it, I suppose. I know it's a bit hard to do that in this era. But, God, he makes a valid point. But apparently the chat is saying that Massa deal is now done. That Massa's back next year. I'm just checking my timeline in case anything's come up. I don't think that's
nothing official yet.
But I'm seeing more and more reports that he signed a new contract yesterday. But then that's going to free up Valtteri Bottas to head over to Mercedes. And somewhere Chris Cook is screaming and doing backflips right now as we speak. Like, can you imagine somewhere in Chris Cook's house right now, like, oh my God, Bottas is going to win races next year.
Bottas could be world champion next year.
Who would have thought that a year ago? Holy crap. Formula One is crazy. People say as well, Mark saying, yeah, Alex Rossi is 25. But I don't
he ain't coming back.
No, Alex Rossi signed a 3-year extension with the Andretti team in IndyCar, so that's a no-go. And I love it in the chat, our personal chat, Johnson just put in a message saying, and Hulkenberg is in a fucking Renault. Fuck my absolute life. In great big capital letters. But that's not ideal. Ramos says a terrifying thought in the chat. Maverick Vinales is 8 months and 26 years younger than me. Yeah, that's terrifying. Like I said before, like the old joke that Marc Marquez is exactly 6 months younger than I am, and I just think, what the hell have I done with my life at that point, basically, which isn't ideal, but there you are. Hashtag prayers for Johnson from Rhino in the chat.
Prayers for Johnson.
Brian Glennon just in the chat just goes, Bottas wins the 2017 World Championship. Cook, don't you look stupid now? Oh dear. Very, very true. But right now, King, if you had to guess, like, where would you put Williams for next year then? Because do you think they're going to be struggling as of next year with all these changes?
I put them third. I put them fourth place.
So you think they'll maybe re-overtake Force India in that?
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be close.
You got that much faith in Felipe getting you 120 points or something like that? That's what he may end up needing.
Well, it's
depends how good.
Yeah, like if I had to say, I'd probably put them fifth, realizing that it'd be, Massa v. Ocon.
Yeah, like Ocon is getting better by the race. Hashtag Bottas is still shit, says Vic. Miles saying, Bottas in a top car. Seems if Red Bull are #1 car next year. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Joe Ed is saying, watch out for Lando Norris, who won the karting world championship at a younger age than one Max Verstappen. God, that's another good point. Like the junior scene is bursting with talent.
But there's not enough seats.
There's not enough seats. We talked about it on last week's episode. There's just not enough seats to go around, really, which is just a bummer to say the least.
And again, like looking back what Degrassi said, you really want to just go to a back marker team in F1? Like, do you even want to go to a midfield team in F1? Because you can't win anything.
Yeah, it's like in the state of F1 right now, like you'd have to go back to 2012 to have a season where more than 3 teams won a Grand Prix. So really, in F1, there's never really been more than 6 cars you'd actually really want to drive for. Everywhere else is kind of just making the best of a bad situation, essentially.
Well, like if you look in comparison, like the lowest ranked person to win an IndyCar race last season was Sebastian Bourdais, won an IndyCar race and finished 14th in the championship.
Loaded.
Yeah, like
talented. Yep. Ryan Glenn says in the chat, so many young men to get excited over. I accidentally made a gay joke. Oh dear. James Lewis in the chat saying, "Hey Dre, long time no see. Think McLaren will have a good season next year?" Probably. I mean, I think the law of diminishing returns of the big factories will suggest that Honda will only get better as time goes on, as the team struggle to make other gains. I think McLaren could get themselves back into the top 5 if they have a really, really good year. I think Stoffel Van Dorn's going to be great. Fernando is probably still really good. He was great this season. I don't think we gave Alonso enough credit for this year because I think we're all just kind of bored of praising him for being that guy in the midfield all the time now. But Fernando was still really good this past season. But I think McLaren's got a lot of positive upside in their camp regarding that. But again, they should. They're McLaren Honda. They have a ton of resources, a ton of money. That Bahraini Raw family money is pretty lit. And they've got one of the best drivers in the world. So they should be good. Yeah, it just goes to show you how bad the last couple of years have been for them, really. The Massa signing on from 2017 is a motorsport.com. So motorsport.com are now reporting that Massa story. Oh, boy. Guys, it's happening.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Yeah, there it is. Massa accepts offer to stay at Williams in 2017.
The deal that paves the way for Valtteri Bottas to join Mercedes.
What a waste of emotion. I gave you all my emotional investment for this. Damn it. Massa's back. And you know what? This Vic just goes, why Felipe? Why? That Interlagos Guard of Honor was perfect. It so was.
Well, he threw it all away.
Yep. Johnson in our personal chat also goes, love how even in such a massive, silly season, F1 still disappoints. It can't do anything right.
Blame Martini.
Yeah, blame Martini. Rhino in the chat saying, and somewhere in Brazil, Felipe Massa just pulled a Mark Henry on us, minus the sound. That's great. Yep, almost certain Bottas to Mercedes. Yep. Yeah, most likely. That'll pretty much pave the way over now, by the looks of it.
Yeah, things just got predictable real quick. Though, imagine if we do get swerved and they don't sign Bottas.
Yeah, boy.
Bottas, you don't got to ride next year.
Come on, Claire, put your foot down. Put your foot down on this, Claire. We want this. Claire, put your foot down. We want Bottas in the mediocre seat next year. If you want something exciting in the Mercedes seat, put Ocon in there. I make money.
Oh,
I'm second thought. Beg and plead with Horner and get Carlos Sainz in that damn seat. I get £100 if that happens. I put a $5 in there, 20-1.
Oh God! I would love to see Carlos Sainz Jr. win a world championship.
Yes, please. I'm here for this. That would be great. But Maldonado to Manor. Oh, jeez. Makes a good point from Miles in the chat saying, why the F were Merck saying they may not have an announcement until February then? Because they want to let the heat die off first. It's as simple as that. They don't want to stoke the fire some further and we ask even more questions. They want the heat to die down.
Or they just assume Massa would say no.
You know what? I love that the people, like everyone on my Twitter timeline is just going like, this is just awful in every way.
Like Felipe,
like Brennan in the chat just goes, "I cry for you, Felipe. How dare you?
How dare you do this?"
Worst retirement since Ric Flair ending up in TNA.
Yeah, I'd be like Felipe just rolls up. Like I would just like Felipe, you're not gonna be in the Hall of Fame. This year's gonna be like you go into the Hall of Shame. You're coming back again.
It's Michael Jordan coming back as a wizard. That's what that is right there. That's like, it's just You know, I'm not going to give a shit when Felipe's last race comes around again. It's like,
oh God, $50. Go walk backwards at the Interlago pit lane and unhug everyone and give that marshal his flag back.
No, we're saving the emotion till next November, you guys. Okay? Yeah, our private Ted Johnson just goes Massa with a late attempt to win the floppy award. So guys, we need a recount. Refuse to give a shit about Massa's actual retirement in Abu Dhabi now. I refuse.
Yeah, when he actually retires now, it's just gonna be. Are you really gonna retire, Felipe?
like, is Claire gonna beg you for another year? Like I said, Kai's tweet takes the biscuit. Let me find $50 his tweet here. By the way, if you're a Motorsport fan and you're not following $50, you're a very, very silly person. Go follow him. He's gold. One of the nicest and also most generous people ever out there. Oh, that's the one he was talking about, King. Yeah,
go on, hug everyone.
Walk backwards at the Interlagos pit lane, unhug everyone, and give back that marshal's flag. That's gold. Oh, dear. Like, Kai, if you're listening to this, I want one of those Marquez pit boards too. How dare you give Zara such an awesome Christmas present? Oh dear. It's just Vic's saying as well. At least Shumi waited 3 years. Oh man, what a terrible waste. Johnson in that chat goes, Jay, your brother better follow through and still becoming a Ricardo fan. Hashtag day one Ricardo fan. Hang on, let me get him in here. Brother Ryan, have you heard the news? Massa's accepting an offer. Massa's back. I don't know if you heard that on the stream there, but that was Brother Ryan's reaction. He's the most hardcore Felipe Massa fan you know. And, yeah, he's back. And it was just a ridiculously lengthy groan. It's just...
Please tell me you're joking.
Come here. Look. Massa accepts offer to stay at Williams in 2017. Motorsport.com.
Oh, my...
Everybody, this is Brother Ryan, by the way.
Why? It's like it was wrapped up so well. It was just wrapped up so well. It's like, I even had an emotional tweet.
Yeah.
Everything was done. You can run up into the distance, raise a couple of kids. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can support someone else for once and not have misery, but no, come for one more year of misery. I want to hang up my Ricardo helmet up to the ceiling, praise our new Lord and Savior. But no, I'll have one more year of this crap. Fuck me. and now I've lost money as well because Bottas is going to sign for Mercedes.
Yeah. We should have jumped at Bottas at 3-1 when we had the chance. Damn it!
I told you they were gonna get Bottas. I told you.
Shut up! Like Bottas's price was too short. Okay.
I told you. Like you swore to me like, oh, they're gonna get Pascal.
Johnson has got a message for you, Brother Ryan. He goes, Ryan, come join the Perez camp of perennial underdogness or the Hulk camp of perpetual disappointments.
Screw it. Yep. I'll do it. I'm a Perez fan.
He's a Sergio Perez fan now. Okay. Oh god, like the chat is exploded in laughter, which I think is great. He sounds like you, Dre. Yeah, he really does. Like, we get more alike as we get older. It's crazy. It's not a good thing. Your emotions meant nothing. Real talk. Heel turn of the year from Massa. Well, at least 27 would be the 20 race retirement tour for him. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even gonna be like one of the happy, feel good retirement tours. It'll be like the why do you even hear retirement tour?
Oh man, I don't even know what to tell you on that. It's just, oh dear. This Mark Henry all over again. Elizabeth Wurst, like, we want young talent, F1 cries, watching hordes of young drivers fighting over seats. Let's bring back Massa! Oh dear. It's like, why, like, then again, Liz also mentioned, why bring back Massa when you can bring back Will Stevens? Brother Ryan is back in the room.
I just don't know. Why is this a thing?
Have a seat. Come hang out with us.
I'm not singing down having a...
we can share this misery together.
Have you got a rope?
No, I don't.
Do you have some rope?
I don't, unfortunately.
Nah. Felipe ain't worth dying over.
Ryan, Felipe, it's not worth it.
I'm so done.
This is so done.
So done. I'll be off of this.
Like this is what we're dealing with right now. That's just so uninspiring. Just meh. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're all still recovering right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Right, as in #Team Boys. Liz is watching us, by the way. Hi, Liz. It's like when 80s bands go on reunion tours, only somehow worse.
Oh, yep. Not even somehow. They're just way too old for this.
Also, I like that Matt's just thrown the shade by saying, Liz, your YouTube is still stuck in your Motley Crue period. Ryan 83 is here. Hello, Ryan. Like, by the way, Ryan, if you're watching, congratulations on 10,000 subs, my friend. Like, well earned, my friend. Well earned. You are one of the nicest dudes I've ever seen on YouTube. And congrats on the degree as well, sir. Join the club. It's a very miserable club of realizing once you get to the adult world, your degree is completely irrelevant. But there you go.
Oh, so Dre, on another topic, I think I tweeted about it the other day. Did you read Brundle's column in Motorsport magazine where he basically said that MotoGP was a superior product to F1?
Wow, he actually said that?
Well, not verbatim. Well, I think here was the line that really stuck out to me. A question I ask all over the world is, how much slower is a top F1 driver? How much slower than a top F1 driver is Valentino Rossi around Silverstone of Barcelona? People say 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Then I say no, half a minute. And people can't believe it, but it's true. So going on from that, does MotoGP look more or less scary than F1? More scary, without a doubt. So speed per se is not the issue. The thing here, people love to see cars sliding. They always look faster because they always look faster than cars bolted down on the track. That comes back to MotoGP, doesn't it? Half a minute slower, half a minute a lap slower than F1, but they look bloody amazing. Speed is not the issue.
Very much so, and it's very much true that MotoGP bikes are about 10, 15 seconds a lap slower because obviously they haven't got the grip of a four-wheel drive Formula One car that has 4 tires on the ground compared to MotoGP's at 2. And there's many reasons why I think MotoGP... I've been telling people for years MotoGP has been a better product than Formula One for quite some time. Outside of maybe 2012, but MotoGP is... When it's on form, it hits it out of the park. I've said this time and time again. Even when they added aero by having more winglets.
I mean, like, you're still not going to have the amount of cornering speed comparative to like how quickly those bikes accelerate because their tires are so narrow compared to like a car's tires where they can accelerate to like 100 kilometers an hour like nothing. I think it's like less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised that Brundle said that. I mean, Brundle has been a big bike fan for a long time. I remember he was do you remember when he was on BT Sports coverage when he was there for the Valencia season finale last year when Rossi had a chance at the title? Like, They're like, Rossi can win the title. Let's all ship out to Valencia for the weekend and come watch it. Like, I think Brundle was there, Carl Fogarty was down there, bunch of other like famous bike enthusiast celebrities were all down there, and yeah, man, it's crazy. It's one of those things. But yeah, it's. I find it amazing that Brundle would openly admit that when he's getting paid $500,000 a year by Sky F1 to endorse F1 at every given opportunity.
Hey, it's not on SkySports.com, so he probably doesn't care.
As long as the paycheck's still the same, right? But yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with you there. That's concerned. I can't disagree with him. I think MotoGP's been better overall for quite some time. Going to the chat saying, John Choyua, who aka Johannes Lacroix, says, "Why is it that everything that I ever say on Motorsport 101 that isn't a love letter gets abused by Dre?" I'm getting called out today, King. I'm getting called out. I've got honest answer, Giannis, me and you just don't see eye to eye on F1. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. Like, trust me, the amount, Miles will attest to this. The amount of times I've butted heads with him on Twitter over various things, F1, MotoGP, sports in general, are insane. But we have a tremendous amount of respect for each other's opinions. Like, that's just how it is. We don't see the same things eye to eye. We have different perspectives, but it doesn't mean I don't get along with you or I'm abusing you. That's a very strong word there, to say the least. But something like that at all, man. It's just one of those things. Oh God, he's really going off on this one. It's like Dre asked me a question last video. I answered it fair and square, and then he went to criticize something I wasn't even implying. It wasn't even relevant to what I said in response to him. It's just, oh jeez. I'm not even gonna go there on this one. It's just not worth it, man. It's like Felipe Massa's retirement. It's just not worth it.
Just like Felipe Massa's retirement. So yeah, Felipe's back. Simmons is gone.
Yeah, Simmons is gone. Simons is gone. Like, Simons is gone. You've got Smedley is gone. It's just. I saw Brother Ryan's tweet on the situation. He's gone, and I quote, "It's like you couldn't have just fucked off, could you? No, you couldn't decide to come back. Fuck me, Felipe." Oh man, that's just gold. Oh jeez. Vanessa Roney, FFS, why F1? I mean, I know why, but honestly, let someone else have a goddamn go. Yeah, that's Kissinger's girlfriend. But yeah, yeah, just crazy stuff. Saying, oh well, what's always got in the chat here? What's my brother's Twitter handle? My brother's Twitter is at RJH_46. I don't know why he hates Valentino Rossi now. Yet he still kept 46. Don't ask me why. But if you want to follow my brother on Twitter, he is over there, by the way. I'll put it out there publicly as well.
Oh, Dre, did you also hear the MotoGP news that in 2018 Suzuki wants to eye supplying a team as a satellite?
That's if only they told Johan Zarco this a year ago. When they goes, look, hey, hold this Suzuki contract for us. We'll figure out something for you later. Oh, how about a seat in 2018? Nope, not having it. Interesting. If the problem is that there may not be space on the grid for them unless somebody else changes teams, because Ducati has been like the go-to satellite team of choice. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, probably Suzuki want to go and do it, but at the same time, Ducati have been like the go-to satellite for quite some time now. So I'm not sure whether anyone would defect, and now they've just lost their best advertising tool in Maverick Vinales. So who knows? Those things. Brother Ryan is still going. He's going, why God? Why this? And he goes, this is the worst thing that has happened in 2016.
Yeah, F1 wise, yeah, this is the worst. Like, I can't think of anything F1 wise that has happened that's been worse than this.
What worse than the qualifying format?
That only lasted 3 races. Things ended up going back to normal very quickly.
I guess. And it was thoroughly dramatic at the same time as well, in the worst possible sense, I guess.
I guess it still has the same payoff as like yeah, we got really worked up over this qualifying thing, yet things went back to being normal, and then we got worked up about Massa retiring, and then he didn't retire.
Listen, just double down and just goes, this is like peak the baby boomers are stealing the jobs of the millennials.
Yep.
No. Motors TV with the Abe Simpson leaving out of the Simpsons game. Exclusive footage of Felipe Massa's retirement. Oh dear. Oh no.
And then Lauda went on Red Bull's TV channel and talked with Helmut Marko about their current driver situation at Mercedes. Where he said, like, we had hoped for a faster solution, but discussions have proved to be difficult.
In other words, we didn't think we could get him as easy as we thought we could.
Then later on, Marko says, but according to our information, it won't be Verline in the car. Does that mean you don't trust your own young program? And Lauda replied, I have to correct that one. The young driver program is a young driver program, as you say. They're there for young drivers to get experience.
Right.
As in, like, yeah, it's just there for them to get experience, not for them to actually, advance their careers or anything.
Yes, as Pascal Verlaine is still, as we speak, a free agent for 2017. Kind of a problem. Like, if you were never going to put him in the car, why did you suspend his talks with Sauber?
I mean, I guess, like, it seemed like Toto Wolff was, leading negotiations at Sauber himself. If it opened up that situation where he has to negotiate with other drivers, he just doesn't have the time to also be negotiating with Sauber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Some of those things, definitely. Oh my god, the abuse I'm getting in the chat from John is insane. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's like episode 71 of what? And I'm like, what do you think of my Mercedes tuned idea? Let me guess straight, you'll abuse it because you're you.
Yeah, and then like Helmut Marko really railed against Mercedes, saying that there was a conflict of interest for Mercedes to be interested in a driver that is also being managed by the team principal.
Oh yeah. But there isn't totally a conflict of interest in Wolff going after one of the guys he manages.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's definitely conflict. Like, yeah, it's like it costs $22 million a year to keep Rosberg at the team. How much is it going to cost for Nico Rosberg how much is it going to cost for Valtteri Bottas when you don't have to worry about like things like, the usual, commission percentage that a manager gets for getting his driver signed? Not going to there's a real conflict of interest here that everyone's pretty much ignoring.
It's a very good point. Like, again, like you got to imagine, like, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, well,
it puts Toto Wolff in a situation where he controls his own salary.
Yeah, like he directly makes more money if he signs Valtteri Bottas to his own team. Like,
yeah,
that's a little bit kooky, to say the least. Like, that is an enormous conflict of interest right there. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that is kind of alarming. But hey, there we go.
Yes, it only took, of all people, Helmut Marko to actually bring that up.
Also, random great tweet from Joseph Newgarden, and I quote, "Can we just take a moment to reflect on the subpar parental supervision skills from Kevin McAllister's mum and dad?" A Home Alone reference from Joseph Newgarden. I love that, man. He goes against every Penske note in the book.
Yeah, like, hopefully he doesn't turn into Corporate Lewis.
Corporate Lewis. Oh dear. It's one of those things. Oh, that's just awful. Let's just sign Bottas and leave it here. No, the note of Shuffle's lawmaking under the bus. And Matt goes, that is very cookie. Oh dear. But yeah. I mean, we're all still recovering from this, aren't we?
It's like just a shock.
Yeah, it's just like we're all just in shock, and we're all just sitting here, just like this hangout has been hijacked by Felipe Massa. Who would have guessed that like an hour ago? Felipe, you hijacked our bloody stream. What is wrong with you? How dare you? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh man, right. Let's have a look on the Twitter in the chat real quick. Yes, I'm gonna stop a little bit here. Yeah, as I said, episode 71 may come sooner than we thought at this rate.
Yeah. And guess what? There's still questions over the Boston Grand Prix and money that has gone missing.
Really?
Yes, where apparently a local TV station in Boston, WCVB, they have found out that like records show that the Boston Grand Prix promotion company had spent like nearly $2,000 for luxury boxes at the Boston Garden for a Bruins game.
Oh my god!
And also Bruce Springsteen's concert.
Oh, not Springsteen. Surely not. Johnson in our personal chat goes, at least they didn't wait until 5 minutes after recording to drop the news. You make a good point. But, yeah, it's a very much like I'm just waiting for Johnson to randomly chime in with, I'm Adam for Motorsport 101, and what just happened?
What just happened? So, yeah. Okay. Apparently, under oath.
I'm Adam from Motorsport 101, and what just happened?
I hate everything right now. Johnson! Why? Why must you forsaken me like this?
I can't hear myself. What's going on?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. But yeah, apparently Boston Grand Prix CEO John Casey, he was apparently paid for his own personal bills out of his out of the company's pockets, including getting a Porsche.
I'm just gonna buy myself a Porsche out of the budget. I see. Company expense. He
spent $6,000 on 2 business suits.
$6,000. Wow.
Like it just says 2 business suits. I really hope they mean lawsuits, because it's like nope. Earlier it says that he also paid for a legal bill. So yeah, this is actually like business suit.
After the good one, when somebody sues me.
And $2,500 for a Boston College Club membership.
Yeah. Oh god, that's terrible.
Yep. And apparently they still owe $370,000 to the people who either bought tickets or invested in the Grand Prix of Boston.
Wow, that's crazy. That's insane. That is not good at all. That is absolutely mental. To the chat real quick, Elizabeth Worth said, I'm glad we could all share this moment together. Yes, we could. Yes, we could. This is episode 71. Felipe, can you just fuck off already? There it is, as if on cue. Also mentioned Johnson's return. This guy's still going. Somebody get the hammer. Block user. There we go. 1 second. Blocked. We'll come back with his other account. That'll be fun. I was like people actually telling them in the chat to F off as well. That's cruel. You people are very cruel. Very cruel. Says Dre, this is what happens when you give Johnson the keys every so often. Very true. Very, very true. Take it from me. This is like fun behind the scenes Motorsport 101 fact. Johnson has done many a podcast after a Jack Daniels and Coke.
True, but you make it sound way worse than it actually is.
I never said this was a bad thing. I am all for recreational drinking before recording yourself on the internet.
I think I fixed it.
Did you fix it? You can hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
That was hilarious. All I saw of your reaction was just you like miming, just Dre like silent collapsing with laughter.
Yes.
I was just like, I think they heard me. I can't hear them.
Yeah, we heard you.
Yep, yeah, we heard you. You just couldn't hear us. So yes, Johnson is actually here.
Does anyone want a chip?
Well, we would have. Your webcam isn't turned on. All I see is the black screen of Bomber Sports.
Brand man.
Yep, and now Autosport is reporting Massa postpones retirement to rejoin Williams.
I'm coming back for a year.
After their parent company reported it already. Nice one.
Yeah,
just hog the exclusives.
Slowly but surely smothering Autosport magazine.
Yep.
Shout out to Motorsport Talk and NBC Sports Twitter Zeno for this great tweet. The Massa comeback news, provided it happens, is good for one reason and one reason only: more Massa's dad memes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Lance Stroll is kind of young enough to be your son.
Oh man, I just feel old. Saying here in the chat, saying it. Johnson, my boy, says Rhino in the chat.
My boy Rhino.
Ray Watson goes, haha, is it 2012 and Mickey Motions again?
Oh
man.
Oh, I don't want to go back down that road.
You should have told me I'll be warming up Suplex City.
Oh, that was a dark and cold road. That was not pretty, but that if I'm not mistaken, like I think he still follows me on Twitter. He's not tweeting me in ages, but
are you surprised by that?
Oh, he doesn't anymore. Oh, he changed his mind.
Oh, what a shame.
What a shame. I'm clearly devastated that the most antagonistic troll in the history of the Formula One community no longer follows me on Twitter. And it's the funny thing is that people that realize this, I may not, I didn't say this at the time. You know, there's little behind the scenes, little factoids. I actually did meet Mickey Motions in person. At Eurogamer in 2014, we actually met face to face and fully hashed out these issues. And like, I've never really had beef with Mickey since then, and we had a mutual understanding on certain things. But I will say for this is that the guy has a very, very black and white kind of view on YouTube in general, and thinks it's all a numbers game, and you know it's all a great big conspiracy at times. And we all know a guy that like that in life, that he thinks everything is a conspiracy, and Mickey Motions is that guy. He's a very nice, he's a nice kid.
The whole world is now led by one of these people.
yeah, exactly. But hooray for that. But for what it's worth, I don't think he's a particular. People have asked me about this time and time again. I say, look, he's not a bad guy. He's just a little bit deluded when it comes to.
He's not a good guy.
World of YouTube.
He's this guy.
He's not a bad guy. It's just cuckoo. Yeah, nice kid. I wish him the best. Because he's a fellow Londoner, and he was kind of an inspiration for me as well, because he got the Machinima Sports contract that I wanted so badly when I was like 17, first making videos. But it turns out that the Machinima are a piece of shit. But yeah, one of those things. But let's have a look here in the chat real quick. It says, great, I can skip straight to Abu Dhabi then, says Skeletor in the chat. I can skip straight to Abu Dhabi. That's great. I have a better idea. I had a whole speech in Portuguese made up for that bit. Now I have something better. Just you wait. So, yeah.
Like, Felipe, we loved you.
How dare you, Felipe?
How dare you?
He's going to put in the Mark Henry fake retirement promo, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but instead of it being the
But,
Hall of Pain, it's the Hall of Shame.
That's the funny thing is that me and brother Ryan were actually planning a video, like a little debate video, me and him with a camera going, is Felipe Massa a Hall of Famer? Brackets, short answer, no. But
well, he definitely isn't now.
we were gonna make this video like around New Year sort of time, because it was actually my brother's idea, funnily enough, to do that vid, but it hasn't actually come to fruition since. But we got to kind of put the whole thing on ice now. We might do it for Jenson Button instead, unless he suddenly comes back to join Williams next year too, or something. I don't know.
Or you know, Swerve, they don't sign Bottas and they sign Esteban Ocon, and then for some reason Force India signed Jenson Button instead of Bottas, which would be like weird.
Ew. This is just so ew in every way. So I guess you're going to have to delay that vid until New Year's 2018, says Miles in the chat. Well, who knows at this point? Like, is it a 1-year deal for Felipe, or is he going to stick around for longer because Williams now need another over 25 driver? They're not good. They're still not going to have an easy time finding someone over 25 next year either.
They're not going to have you're going to have to wait for someone else's contract to run up, and that's going to be like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. We're an hour in. We still got 23 people watching. Thanks for you guys in the chat. I see all you guys. I read every comment. I got good time to read them all out. But you guys are gold as always. Yeah, we read everything. We do. And Andrew Bannister saying as well, this basically gives Verline the middle finger. We mentioned it earlier. Absolutely. Verline's now caught between the rock and a hard place. He hasn't got a seat for next year. He's probably going to end up back at Sauber in the end, which is the worst team to be on in the grid right now.
I mean,
have Mercedes just proven themselves to be shitter with their young driver program than Red Bull?
No.
Well, they still gave Ocon like the 4th best seat in the sport right now.
Yeah, it's like not at all. It's more like they really didn't expect Rosberg to retire at all.
I'm confused though. On the Ocon point, why didn't they get Ocon? They seriously have more invested in it. The contract doesn't mean much.
No. The contract does mean the FIA does have like a specific court of arbitration for contracts, and if a team doesn't want to let their guy go, once Ocon signed that contract saying he's a Force India driver next year, he's Force India's guy.
Yeah, but he's still part of the Mercedes deal altogether, isn't he?
No, because Toto Wolff has also revealed in the past that like any specific like kind of engine deal, it's separate from any driver contract. So if Force India don't want to let him go, that doesn't null and void any contract they have with Mercedes in terms of engines.
Right. So basically, what we learned about this is that Williams are bigger bitches to Mercedes than Force India.
Yeah, I think Williams probably would have said no. Like they probably would have said no if they knew they could have gotten something, better in return, because this Martini deal really put them in a bind where they have to have someone over the age of 25.
And then we realize the sport's getting younger and younger, and there's not that many veteran names that aren't elite drivers that are over the age of 27 or 28 by now. Like Perez is 26, Hulkenberg.
Because if you're not really successful out of the box, you're going to get fired in 2 to 3 years.
Formula 1 is a new NFL in that regard.
I mean, in the NFL, it's different because people are literally physically can't play anymore.
It's true. Miles asked as well, like, contracts mean little. Grease signed a new Atletico deal, but he's still coming to United in the summer. Please be right. Like, I would wet myself if Antoine Griezmann joined Manchester United. I would die.
Fan over here.
I'm just like how Alex Morgan was like, "Yep, sorry America, I'm out to Europe for like half a year."
Yeah, Alex Morgan to Lyon.
Yep, I bet like Manchester United's like, we really should have a women's team because we could have had Alex Morgan for like a season.
Oh man.
I'm assuming Jasmina is going to be pumped about that.
Yeah.
You know better than to bet against me, Dre. Shut up, Miles.
To be fair, did you not hear my story about the England rugby coach on episode 69?
Yeah, we mentioned that, yeah. But Yeah, Miles mentioned that bet, and those guys that don't know the context of this bet, I bet Miles that I would buy him a Manchester United shirt if Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored 20 league goals or more.
You really took that bet? You really took that bet?
Listen, I was not that high on Zlatan anymore. I thought the wheels were going to fall off. I was wrong.
Did you specify what Man United shirt?
Did you specify which Man United?
Could you not just get like a knockoff one for £5 down the charity shop?
That's just cold. And what? Zlatan's like 4 goals away from 20 with like.
Well, it's league goals, so I think he's got 11 league goals right now, but 11 at the halfway point is not a good sign. I mean, we played 17 out of 38 games, so we're almost at halfway.
So you're basically praying for him to get hurt.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
Like, oh God, no! Ibrahimovic is going to need the stretcher. Yes. I don't like the potato.
No, I would never do that. But oh, jeez. Brian Glennon asks in the chat, Johnson, haven't you got better things to do? That stop motion is only 10 months overdue.
I don't know what he's talking about.
You know exactly what he's talking about, Johnson.
Actually, hang on. He was the one nagging me to get into this chat. He's not pleasing some people.
No. Sorry, we thought you were too busy with your 117 different side projects.
Well, after today, it's probably about 119.
Oh, good.
There's you, says the man who never has a day off. You're like Darren Young.
Hashtag no days off.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so guys in the chat, I have a message for you. Are you ready for story time with Dre?
Yay!
The moment you've all been waiting for, I guess.
Mate, this is like, I remember there was one day where it was after I just met you on Downforce, Dre, and I was like, oh, his YouTube channel's awesome, and I saw the gaming stuff, and I found like some of the old like Dre talks and stuff like that, and some of them were really fascinating, like the one where you talked about Asperger's and everything. Of course, that hit home a lot with me, and there were other ones where it was like the Mickey Motion one you were talking about earlier. I was like,
oh dear,
man, this guy's like the king of On Blast.
I have had many a savage tendency across.
Put it this way, viewers. He
threatens
to kill me every week, and I'm his friend.
Yes, this is true. It's only because I'm that insecure about myself. It's true. If I destroy people that I consider my best mates,
can I just take this question from the chat, by the way, quick?
Yep.
From Black Inferno 99, Adam, pick one. A, Renault make a race-winning car and Hulkenberg beats Verstappen to the title. B, AFC Wimbledon win the FA Cup. Or C, NASCAR abolishes the chase. All three.
Like, honestly, if I had to pick just one, I'd probably pick Wimbledon win the FA Cup.
That would be pretty sick.
I thought you'd pick NASCAR.
No. NASCAR's foregone, Johnson. It's foregone.
No. Okay. It's not NASCAR anymore. It's the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
Hey, you could just take out the sponsor and just call it the NASCAR Cup Series. Thank God they allowed that to be a thing.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, presented by Monster Energy.
The chat is hyped. The chat is ready.
Okay.
Just also breaking news. Breaking news in terms of terrible alcohol deals. Force India have now completely secured a deal with Johnny Walker for 2017. So drink away, Esteban.
Drink away, Esteban, you 19-year-old it.
Sergio's gonna be like, "Hey, this shot's on me, man."
Yeah. Break out the rose water for Esteban. Yeah, great. Okay, so guys in the chat, you guys were hyped. Yes, booty call story. Hashtag make Dre Harrison great again. Dre's booty call story.
Here we go.
Okay, I have not told anyone, even my own brother, the full story behind this.
We haven't even heard the story, have we?
Yeah, we have not.
And we were the ones that were like, "Oh, we got to present a show without Dre. Why is he not here?" Something about booty.
I'm in York.
I was literally like, well, Dre's in the north for some reason.
Okay. Okay, this is a disclaimer. I'm not going to name names. And I'm only going to say this story on the one provision that you people don't trying to seek out who this person may or may not have been.
Well, this is the internet, bro.
This is the internet. I'm clearly putting way too much faith in said internet. hence why names have been changed to protect the innocent. But in any case, shit. The chat is so jokes right now. I was like, shit, we're any popcorn for this, and you're telling the internet. And Glennon goes, as I penetrated her type. Listen, I say these things because they're entertaining, and I am the king of self-depreciation. And I am an open book when it comes to these things. And it's a funny story for the sake of the podcast. And, you know, people... I did genuinely get a lot of messages saying, well, where were you, Dre? And
look, let's be honest, if we managed to survive that shag, marry, kill segment...
Yes, at this point we can
kill the show now.
I'm trying to find the specific episode I wasn't not on. It was 60 something. It
wasn't the Brazil episode, was it?
Phillip Island in Australia. It was that weekend because I remember,
we had the terrible MotoGP segment.
Yeah.
Oh, when like no one had watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say it might have been 64. Was it? Hang on.
Was it the Mexico one?
Thinking like, oh my god.
Hang on. I'm playing it on SoundCloud right now.
Oh, you're listening to it.
I'm pretty sure it was 64. It was the Mind Your Effing Language episode because it was also talking about Mexico.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the one. That's the one.
Because RJ was on that show.
All the episodes for Trey to miss. It's the one where his boy drops a pipe bomb.
I'm pretty sure you guys won't find them anyway, but not that it matters or anything. I don't really care given what happened afterwards anyway. But okay, yes. Here's the full story. Yes, it is true. It was a booty call. I can confirm that right here and now. That's the first bombshell you made that may or may not shock you. Yes.
Breaking news on motorsport.com on how to confirm booty call. Ward 11.
The Internet Motorsport personality confirms he was at York for a booty call.
Unfortunately, I first told
half an hour later, Motorsport breaks the same story.
Shut up, Johnson, for 2 minutes, for God's sake.
Are we going to have a late contender for the Scotty Award?
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up. Can I speak now?
Yeah, you may.
Yeah, I told the Slack chat about this. I was going to be in York for a few days, and I wasn't going to be on that week's episode. And Johnson immediately made the jokes that it was going to be for a booty call because York is kind of a boring part of the country unless you're into your trains.
I was going to say, the only other reason for going to York is to go to the National Railway Museum, and I know I'm the train nerd here.
It's true, and it was weird. It was kind of like it was me with this girl I was talking to that was a fellow F1 fan, and she was kind of like a friends with benefits sort of thing. And I can't believe I'm actually talking about this openly on the air to the internet. And yeah, we were kind of like dating, but not really. And
then she revealed she hates Sebastian Vettel.
No, fellow Vettel fan, funnily enough.
Whoa.
That's a plus. That's a plus.
And then she revealed she likes Sky F1.
Yeah, Dre Harrison has a social life, says Matt. Thanks a bunch, Matt. Thanks a bunch.
Says the race review guy on YouTube who jokes about his own lack of social life.
Yes. Josh Boyne in the chat was going, and at this moment, Dre started regretting the story. We passed the point of regret some time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, basically. And then she told Dre that Rosberg is an undeserving champion, says Ryder.
And then she told Dre to watch DTM.
All hail Lord Nico. Yeah, basically, I told the Slack chat first I wasn't going to be there for a week, and it was going to be for 4 days, and we planned it out. And let's just say that she was the kind of person that was extremely forward, to say the least.
Well,
and that automatically, to me, red-blooded male that hasn't had a girlfriend in 3 years, very appealing.
We've all been there, bro. I mean, in my case, Welsh, man. Welsh. Oh my God.
Trust me. Like, the end of the story is, and a little bit of a previous venture into my love life. You'll explain. You'll hear right at the end why it's so funny. But basically, yeah, I got on this. It wasn't cheap. The train was like 70 quid there and back. Like, York is quite a way away. It's like
York is basically about as far north as you can go without entering Scotland.
Yeah. Then she told Dre she was a Verstappen fan. You fucking bastards in the chat. Sorry, I keep getting put off because the chat is this funny right now. It's gold. Saying things like, Brian says she told Dre that Vettel was shit without Red Bull. She's a Takuma Fosato fan, isn't she? Says Vic. Oh my God. But yeah, like, the trains were not cheap. It was like 70 quid to go into York, and it was like a 4-day thing. So I was just one of those things where it was a regret me going over there that long, especially given that the Sunday train back was hell on earth.
And you missed the Mexican Grand Prix for it.
Yeah, I missed the Mexican Grand Prix for it. Actually, it was COTA. It was the American Grand Prix I missed it for it. So that was the episode in question.
Oh, no, actually, in which case, yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't. I saw it when I got in, but I didn't get in until 2 a.m, and my train was at 7 o'clock. So what does that tell you? But you want to hear the fun stuff, so I'll say that shit till the end. But I didn't realize it was going to be me spending 4 days in a university dorm room for first of all, which is
Welp.
We all. I mean,
like, in my experience, my university dorm, I'm pretty sure prisoners in Guantanamo Bay have bigger rooms.
Yeah, pretty much. Glennon's already crying from laughter, apparently, which is great. But yeah, like, it's a university halls. If anyone's ever stayed on a university's campus or stayed in their halls, you know, like, it's shit. You barely have enough room to swing a cat in as a room, and then you've got like one shed. Yeah, you got the one shed like kitchen / community room for like the 6 of you, or the 7 of you in some cases. I think in my end it was a group of 7. I want to say it was.
Oh, mate.
But like,
just keep hiding behind his phone.
Was bad enough.
Like, it can't.
I'm just like, I just can't watch.
He's just like, I'm presenting committing Harry Kiri.
Yeah, it's one of those funny things where, because like, I tweeted a friend of mine about this. I was going to say this story on Tuesday, and I said it was more like a reverse booty call because nothing actually happened in those 4 days or so. That's the big twist.
Yeah, 4 days and nothing happened.
So in reality, the real winner of the Floppy Award is the entire
Okay, I'll be specific. Not that, but I'll explain that. Let me explain. I'll get to the good bits. But yeah, it didn't. What happened was that it didn't help for a few reasons. One, on this goes, fuck's sake, Trey. Like, on day 1, I apparently got pelted at, because she was a smoker as well, so she was outside a lot of the time as well. She wasn't in the dorm room, and she would send me direct messages on Twitter as a way of communicating when she couldn't say it to my face because she had anxiety. Not exactly great.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, not helpful. And yeah, it was one of those things where I was accused of coming on too strong, and it's like, oh God, really? I was the most timid guy in the world. It was like, it's just somebody I've never met before for the first time. So I'm like, I was accused of being too forward. Then one of her friends was apparently about to deck me because I had touched her leg by accident, and she'd gone through a rough time as a child. So I got pinned for that one too, which was like, oh my God, like, I can't do anything.
The way this weekend's going,
here.
when you say you got pinned for that, it sounds like you literally were like pinned to the mat, 1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah, I guess in the metaphorical sense, but not the literal sense, unfortunately. But that didn't go well. The rest of the mates are all really cool people, to be honest. But like, it was one of those things where, as well, I had to sleep on the floor, and the heating wasn't working, which was just hell. I could barely sleep.
And you're in the
bed was just too small. Like, the bed was a single, so it was just far too small, which didn't exactly help certain things. And then the heating wasn't working. And on day 2, there was a fire drill at 7:45 in the morning.
Oh. At least in my old uni, the fire drills were at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's just the amount of FFS Drays in the chat right now is insane. I think King can back me up on this one. It's not pretty, but yeah.
Basically,
day 2 there was a fire. Yeah, day 2 there was a fire alarm at 7:45. Day 3, they were going out clubbing. Yeah, the guys had their like something like they was trying to pretend like they were celebrating Thanksgiving. Then they went out clubbing and whatnot. So I was just in the dorm room watching Freeview television for 4 hours by myself in her dorm room. Yeah, just watching.
I wish I'd have come with you. We'd have just been like in the corner of the bar, just like I'd have dad dance just to keep things awkward and entertaining.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like I would have been the worst wingman in the world.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that's what it felt like. It was like 3 days just basically just guarding her bedroom, basically. And like day 3, I had like an emotional crisis. I was phoning my brother, I was phoning my mum. Like I was not sure how to best go about this at this point. And I was just thinking, like, oh my god, what's going on? Like this has been a complete disaster. I can't watch MotoGP at Phillip Island. I like the column I wrote about Valentino Rossi on my website. That was a column I wrote during day 3 of that trip.
Wasn't that also
Because
the weekend of Brands Hatch British Superbikes?
Yeah, just
Or could have been.
So little had gone on that I was actually doing more work despite the fact I was on a 4-day holiday. Like the Josh in the chat just goes, "That's as hot as it gets, eh? A fire drill." Yeah, so like day 4, the last day on the day before I had to get on the train home. Like things got better. She spent more time in the room. It was more chilled. She had a lot of assignments to do, and then
that's how low the bar had got. You were like, "Well, something's happening. She's at least in the same room as me."
Yeah. I was like, "This is great." And then on day 4, my train was at 7 o'clock to go home. Like we had to leave the uni at about 6 to get down there on time, and at 5 p.m. that afternoon. Shit. Johnson, do you remember the famous joke I made on my first pitboard appearance?
Oh god. That certain day of the year.
Let's just say it's a certain day that obnoxious men tend to celebrate. It often involves steak.
No.
That may or may not have happened.
No, Dre, no. Man down. I almost wish I'd had like a headset, like a sort of HQ back home. It's like, no, Dre, man down. We've lost contact.
Get somebody in there.
Dre, hold down.
Get somebody in there.
We need an extraction team.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just go, oh my god, it just and you know, like that was like a kind of semi-nice ending to the whole thing, but then
consolation prize.
Yeah, that was the participation trophy essentially of what that whole thing entailed, and then I had to quickly get in the shower and then get changed and get back on the train home. It was the weirdest thing ever. I swear to God.
It needs to be a sitcom.
And then what made it worse is that I was at York Station ready to go home, and then I found out my train got cancelled.
Oh, I thought you were going to say steak and blowjob.
That had already happened about 2 hours before.
Hey, the toilets are unlocked.
No. They couldn't wait to get rid of me at that point. I'm telling you, like I think they felt dirty for it. But my train got cancelled. There was a damaged line over at Retford. So I had to basically get on one stupidly busy Virgin train to go from York back to King's Cross. It was the last train for that night. Yeah, what made it worse was that I was opening my shop the next day. So I had to be up at 7:30 in the morning the next day. And they were saying, oh, get the train to Birmingham and then go to Euston from there. It's only going to be 1 in the morning. And I'm like,
oh my
God. Come on now.
Can I just say? I think Danny's nailed it in the chat. Dre got the floppy award and the participation trophy. Sorry, shit. Who won the participation award? Was it Tito Rabat? Sorry, Tito.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Tito. Kind of stole your thunder on this one.
Who won the floppy? Well, before Dre and Massa.
Yeah, it got worse because that resulted. You may have seen it around the time on Twitter, around the time the American Grand Prix was about to start. Me tweeting from the train station. That was me at that platform, and I think I put a couple of pictures of it out there. That was I'd say that was rough count about 400 people. I'd say 400 to 600 people on that train platform, all fighting to get on one train because it was a diesel train, so it wouldn't be affected by the rail damage overhead. So there was literally 600 people on this train, and I was sitting in the corridor between two carriages. And if you've ever been on one of those national trains and there's like a little space with like a toilet in between two carriages.
And the doors with the windows that open.
Yeah. There was about 25 people in that jam.
You must have been wanting to stick your head straight out the window and be like, please, lamppost, come on, end this.
Just put me out of my miseries. I was following the Grand Prix on my phone purely via Twitter as I was cramped up there with 25 people in this in-between space on a carriage.
In basically a toilet.
Basically a toilet cubicle. And the funny thing is that everybody in the chat was really awesome. Everybody in that carriage was really great. Everybody was lovely. They were all cracking jokes. They were sharing food around.
That's the British split spirit right there. When everything's gone fucked up, everyone's just like, well, we're in this together.
Yeah, it's the great British spirit where literally it was just like all in this together, and this the British like camaraderie there of let's all help each other out. We were passing drinks around. We were having a good laugh. We were talking about the sports and the delays and all of that, and it was to be fair, like it was the nicest congestion charged train you will ever see in your life because everybody in that carriage were absolutely lovely folks. We were talking about the NFL games together. We were watching the Grand Prix together. Somebody was able to stream it on the tablet, so we were watching it all together, and it was amazing. It was fantastic. And shout out to everybody that was on that train that day because you were better people than me. Even if it was an hour and a half delay, then I didn't get into the carriage until 11:45.
Oh,
so
I was going to say, it says a lot about your week in York that the overcramped train home was the best bit.
Yeah, like that. Well, to be fair, the steak was pretty good, but yeah, I mean, I can't believe I just said that.
Man down.
I didn't get in. Yeah, I was at King's Cross train station at 11:45, and the problem with that was that the underground had just stopped working, and the night tube for the Piccadilly line had not started yet.
It's Sunday as well, so it was like slightly earlier.
Yeah, so the underground was a no-go. I could not get home via conventional means, so I had to then get a bus from King's Cross to Seven Sisters, and then get the N7, the first night bus, and that was an hour all the way across South London, over through South Kensington, Acton, Hayes, Ealing, Greenford, Southall, back to where I actually live.
Jesus.
And I did not walk through the door until I think it was 1:30 in the morning when I started my journey at 6 o'clock. So it took me 7 hours to get home from York. After all of that, where nothing really actually happened except a lot of the taste of cigarettes and one portion of steak an hour before I got on the worst train journey of my life. That's, so, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you remember that scene from Snatch, near the end of the film Snatch, where the American guy comes back home and he has the flight montage and it's like, anything to declare? Yeah, don't go to England. In your case, yeah, don't go to fucking York.
Hashtag New York is the best York.
Probably. I'm not going to give you after that experience.
Hey, King, I'm still trying to work to get over to the Glen next year. We could end up having a story to top that. Imagine that. AJ and King trying Paul in NYC.
NYC? Watkins Glen is like in the middle of nowhere, fam.
Yeah,
we'll do that before we go to the race.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was pretty much the story of what many people will now describe as the booty call from hell. That's what I spent 4 days doing in New York. I actually did more work for the podcast than actual work I was planning to get done. Yeah, there's a moral of the story here. Don't date an F1 fan. But yeah, that is the full, uncensored, unadulterated story, and you guys are the first to know. I like you guys that much that I thought I would share the story of my misfortune with you.
Yeah, hand on heart, me and King didn't even know that story.
Yep.
Yeah, I hadn't even told Johnson and King the full story at that point.
Because I think he knew that any sort of try throwing at us about future endeavors would just be like, yeah, Dre, not that.
Yeah, like the chat is gold and just saying it's like Matt just saying work the brand, not the booty. Dre got more mental exercise in York than physical exercise. He's always on brand. Irony of getting a virgin drain right after the steak and blow job.
I didn't mention that.
Steak and shake, eh, Dre? Says no. You gave me a Graham Rahal reference. What is wrong with you? It's like you want me to kill you, no. Oh my god, like I'm dead. Dre got the floppy and the participation trophy. WTF, Jesus, Dre. That sounds like something out of the In-Betweeners.
That was my thought. The only thing, just please tell me there wasn't a moment where you were just there, like slapping it, going, get big, get him big.
Take a lot of work to get going.
We do have another breaking news story from Motorsport.com, the Italian version of Motorsport.com.
Andre Harrison had the problem.
No, apparently there's a rumor going around that Ron Dennis is interested in buying Manor.
Why?
What?
I don't know.
Why?
Like apparently him and the group of Chinese investors that were trying to do the McLaren takeover, now apparently they want to get Manor.
Wait, Ron Dennis, the man who was so obsessed with winning that he fired Martin Whitmarsh after he retired, now wants to go to the bottom team.
Yeah.
Hashtag make Manor great for the first time.
For the first time.
Yeah, there is no again to it.
Yay. God, that sounds
Bring
crazy.
back Will Stevens and the banter bus.
Says coming soon, 10 things Motorsport 101 want you to forget about Andre Harrison.
If there was any time to make a What Culture parody video, it would have been when he came back, and it should have been what just happened.
Hello, I'm Andre Harrison from Motorsport 101.
What just happened?
And then just me and Kim
quick
doing
comment.
reaction videos.
Yeah,
Surprise return, drink.
It's like quick comment.
Surprise blowjob,
Yeah,
drink.
quick bonus comment. Shut up, Johnson. As I was saying, it's like if there's one extra bonus story regarding this booty call from hell that I will add in creation to this about how bad my dating history is, three out of my last 4 girlfriends have since either turned lesbian or gone bisexual since I dated them. True story.
Now
So
you know why
that
it's
is
so
how
sour
bad
about
my
Lewis
track
Hamilton.
record is. No, Johnson, no, that's so unfair. It's just one of those.
I mean, to be
things.
fair,
Just,
my last I knew was going out with someone who shared Britain First memes on Facebook.
Ooh.
Which I'd say is probably a lot worse.
They were never as bad as that, unfortunately. But well, in this case, fortunately.
I was going to say,
yeah, it's just like, so yeah, like the same person involved in the booty call. I since found out she was bisexual, and another person that I was going to start dating like a couple of weeks ago has suddenly come out as being gay. As I was like, oh god, really? Like the heavens are trying to, for lack of a better term, screw.
Right,
with
you
me.
need to like change your deodorant, man, or something.
Yeah, like no more Lynx Africa kits, the ones you get for Christmas every year. No more of those. Shy Guy said, I'm not making a thumbnail for this segment.
It's easy. I'll just need as a picture of York Station and just done.
What's just a nice steak pie?
Oh, God.
Oh, I've never eaten a steak and kidney pie ever again. Ever.
Woo!
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's how bad my track record is. So, ladies, if you're out there, call me.
Moister in the chat. You've got it all: an Adam, a king, and a job.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God, for you guys.
Question though: am I Blompier or Pachisi?
I'll let you choose. So I thought my game was weak. Shut up, Brian.
I mean, at least my game's non-existent. It's just there isn't.
Yeah, it's that's Blamby. You're too outspoken to be Placiti, says a Vic in the chat. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story.
That was great. Kim, you got a story?
No, I don't have any stories to reveal today.
Of course you don't.
Because
I don't feel like
there's even less NASCAR fans in this country, and of those, I'd probably not want to take them full stop.
Oh, God. I don't feel like burying myself just yet.
No.
Yeah, King's got a thing for Tommy Lauren. Pass it on.
No.
No. There you go. Payback.
That's just
We're even.
Quite your face.
Then Andrew Kissinger in the chat just gone, what have I tuned into?
You tuned in too late.
Tuned into me bearing my soul. Yeah, just I got nothing more for you than that.
Question, King. I'm just trying to work out around what time did Grace block Dre on Twitter?
I don't know.
No.
Wasn't around the time of the US Grand Prix, was it?
No. Stop.
Oh,
no.
Have we just like 3D Dre?
Okay, well.
I would rather stick my nuts in a food blender than go there.
What's a York?
No. Okay, that might be the
what did you agree with me on?
worst roastings I've ever had by anybody in my entire life.
Rebecca James, you better step up.
I just got destroyed. Oh my God.
You
All
literally
right,
got that gif of Mick Foley being speared through a flaming table.
You win this round, Johnson. You win this round. Is that revenge for all the death threats this season?
Yes.
Touche. You got me. Well played. No, for the record, it was not Wilco. Jesus. I can't believe I've got to actually say that.
I mean.
Oh, God. Oh, dear. The chat saying, Toki said, wow, that was evil, Johnson. To be fair, I've kind of deserved it the way I've roasted him on many occasions this year. So I think that one was kind of deserved. So, yeah.
That was a curve stop into the RKO.
I'm just holding this real hard right now.
That's the wrong way around.
Well, on my camera it looks right, but that's probably better, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. So, in other news, apparently Paul Ricard is considering installing an asphalt heating system.
What would that do?
So Formula One could test there in January.
Wow. Okay. So asphalt heating. So they want it to be a certain temperature. Is it
Why are we
for a
talking
tire
about
test or just
boring?
Kind of boring, but no other circuit in the world that I know has a heating system.
Well, at least if you crash your car, you'd just be like sat
Yeah.
on the asphalt, like, "Ooh, this is nice."
It's warm and cozy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill.
It's so warm and cozy. It's like, for some reason I see artificially heated like asphalt as far more comfortable than a dorm room floor.
no?
It's like maybe it was made of penis. Get damn it!
I'm sorry. I just saw the opening. I just realized that I had to go for it.
Well, so did Dre, and then that opening closed up.
I give up.
Man down, man down.
Good night, everybody. Oh my
God.
God. Oh, jeez. Vic just. I don't even want to read this in the chat, but I am, because at this point we're going to go all the way with this. Vic, and I quote, Dre, wasn't it just a couple of weeks ago that Bex came up to visit you?
And neither of you invited me.
No. No. She's got a boyfriend, and it's not me. So, for the record, no. That's not. It's stop it. All of you.
I don't know what I'm more surprised about. Well, I'm not surprised that she's not dating you. She has a boyfriend?
Yeah.
It's news to me.
Yeah. So,
Probably some
exactly,
West Brom fan or something.
Why would anybody ever want to date a West Brom fan? Oh, wait a minute. Did I just say that out loud?
I guess you did.
Yeah, you did, Dre.
Shit.
You're going to get visited by some badass Midlanders.
Just saying. Sorry, West Brom. Slatin time. Andrew supports West Brom, which is worse. Well, that's what's
Wait, I'm saying that's
country.
only one club. Come on.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, given F1 is really frigging boring to talk about right now, I'm opening this up to you guys on the floor. You can ask us whatever the hell
you want
crap next half hour. Yeah, just if you can avoid roasting me for more than 5 minutes, I'd be very welcome.
Stop this. He's got a family, damn it.
Like I've suffered enough today.
For the love of mankind. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
God is my witness. Like, it's been broken in half.
Yeah, like you guys can send in some cool questions, and basically, I'm going to sign up for first dates.
Why not give OkCupid a try? Tinder ain't been working.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be working for Scott Woodwist, but there you go. No.
Oh! Throw right back up on the campus.
Scott, if you're watching, you said it on Facebook, not me.
Your house tray's getting longer and longer.
Like the only way to get like I maintain that a good defense means a good attack. Quite frankly,
hey, it's Man United strategy.
Yeah, it works. It works. Well, how did all of you meet? Good question from Toki. I have met Johnson in person about 4 or 5 times now. Like, we've been to each other's houses and shit. Because he lives in Dartford, which is only about an hour away from me. Just outside of Essex.
You know he's talking bullshit about killing me every week. He's had 5 attempts. He's literally been in the same room.
I have been distracted by how disgustingly nice his parents are. It's put me off every single time, unfortunately.
It's like you really can't do that to his parents.
No, like I can't do it. His parents are just too lovely, unfortunately. Like.
And what about when I've come to your house?
Yeah, again, like my mom, like when Johnson came to my house, like mom would put the whole pantry out of toasted sandwiches and apple juice, and yeah, like our parents.
She'd make toasties. I'd have banter with his brother about being a Massa fan. It was lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Like
mate, I was there for the Belgian Grand Prix where both my boys finished ahead of Vettel. The roasting that day was serious.
Of what it's worth, I think I met Johnson when I first joined Downforce Radio. I think that's when it was.
I must have met you through Downforce.
Yeah, because I think you were already there doing Downforce USA with Big Mac and them lot, and I joined as part of Bike Live. And
then I was just there like, oh, look at those cool kids doing that bike show. I wish my show was that good.
Yeah, that's
if you're listening, no offense, you guys are lovely.
Yes, exactly. We're totally not being spiteful. In fact, we just left them like a week ago. But King, he followed me on Twitter ages ago because he was a fellow F1 fan. I thought he was a smart ass, so I blocked him back in 2010. And like I since unblocked him, and we're now best mates. And we've done so much work together over the last 4 or 5 years. It's insane. And I was never not going to do a podcast without him. So, you know, it's just one of those things where.
And then, how would I have met you, King? I remember you started sending your letters from the USA to Downforce USA, which is appropriate enough.
Oh yeah, that's probably why.
And then it must have been
even I think a while like since I was doing that. What Wood was said that I would be a co-host on Downforce USA, but that never happened. So we probably would have happened. Yeah.
Man, can you imagine like a new age Downforce USA with me, you, and RJ?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Don't
cap the chat. They will want that.
Oh god, no.
The one what? I was
project number 120.
King, what did he just say? I missed that bit.
It's like imagine if we had like Downforce USA, but with AJ, me, and RJ.
I don't think the world is ready for you three together on one podcast, even though it's already happened like 3 times now.
I was going to say. I think me and RJ bounced around the idea of doing like, this would be the most niche podcast ever, a Trans-Pacific racing podcast. So it'd basically just be V8 Supercars and Super GT for 2 hours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Getting about 5 listens each week, but we'd have fun.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how we met each other.
And then I remember last year when I had the meeting which effectively accidentally killed Harrison 101 HD. Sorry about that. It was when Dre was having his quarter-life crisis, and so was I. And I was like, well, you want to do this podcasting thing pretty seriously, right? He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, let's do it, man. And then I was like, can we talk to King? Because I don't want you to just be like, yo, King, this other guy's come in. This other just random white guy's come in and just been like, yo, here's how we should do our podcast that you're on. I was like, yo, King, I come in peace. It's fine. I'm King Luckins. Yeah. I like you. I can school you each week on the lack of history of F1. It almost reminds me of one of my favorite wrestling podcasts is the Solomonster Sounds Off, and he actually has a phrase on that where it's like if he gets a stupid reader question, he'll actually goes, "Let me school you, son." To the point where he has t-shirts for it. I want to make t-shirts for King for that because literally the amount of times like anyone who listens to the podcast before will have heard this, will have heard the moment where I'm like, hasn't F1 always been about this? And then there's that pause, and you'll just hear King go, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how the podcast came to life, really, and more like how you listen to it now as a format and with the 3 of us, because we started this back in 2014. It was after the Russian Grand Prix. For me, it was a university project, and it was just I knew King, I knew Kraken at the time. We brought them all in. We made a dog's dinner of it. We got through 10 episodes. That was a requirement for my project, and then
you then suplexed Kraken through a table.
Yes, I did, and in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have, but who cares? And people liked it so much, we just kept doing it, and here we are now, 70 episodes on. Vic, thanks for watching, my friend. Appreciate that. Checking the chat for questions here. Andrew saying, "Did you get cramps sleeping on the floor?" No.
Well, he got cramp, but
you got a cramp.
It's going to be a long night. Josh Bond asking, a question you'll love, Dre. Chilton back in BTCC. Yay. Yeah, and I think you're referring to Tom Chilton as opposed to Lord Max himself. Johnson, this one's for you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. Even though 2 years, no, I swear he did an interview with Downforce Radio last year where he said the cars that run in British touring cars at the moment aren't proper touring cars. He was basically a proper world touring car snob, and now I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like wasn't Chilton like
hold your plug in world touring cars?
Yeah, like, wasn't he in Worlds for like 5 years or so? It just didn't really work out for him over there. Yeah, so yeah, good to have him back. I always remember him as those guys from all those Top Gear segments they thought was going to be a future champion one day and wasn't. But yeah, good for Tom Chilton to be back in the BTCC. A nice little recognisable name and a very nice guy on Twitter, by the way.
Fun fact: I once got dive bombed up the inside at Brands Hatch by him.
Was he driving a much faster car than you?
Well, he was driving a Nissan GTR tuned to about 600 horsepower. So yeah. I was driving a classic Ford Mustang on a track day experience. I was there as a press guy. Bearing in mind, at this point, the only other car I'd ever driven in my life was a Ford Focus with a knackered clutch that I passed my driving test on. And then the guys were like, "Oh yeah, we'll send you all out in the top level car we have, which is this race prep 65 Mustang." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not terrified at all." So I stalled it 3 times in the pits and went out there thinking I'm looking like Steve McQueen. And then bearing in mind, this is a track day at Brands, they're like, oh, you're not allowed to overtake on the inside to stop people being arseholes. Of course, Tom Chilton's out there doing his hot laps thing. He's like, fuck this. I'm an actual world touring car driver. I can do this properly. So I'm coming up to Druids. I'm like, braking. I can turn it. And suddenly this red GTR just blazes up the inside of me. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then the best bit was I actually went over to him just after after I got out of the car and I'd stopped shaking. I went over to him and I was like, mate, I never thought I'd be done up the inside by a world touring car driver. And his response literally was, well, you were going so slow, mate. I'm like, what the? Everyone's going to be slow.
Tom Chilton just laid the hammer. That's gold, that is right there. Evan's saying, what if Massa signed on just to kill off Skellington's national pride for good? Well, you should have seen him in here earlier. He wasn't very happy about the situation, to say the least. Miles asking, why has Bike Live ended? I guess this question's for me on this one.
I think you should just let the cat out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag? Do you guys, do you really want me to say?
Johnson? Yeah, as well. Season's over.
Shall we? Ready? I'll say it. Because it's coming to Motorsport 101. Yeah, that's the reason we left Downforce Radio. I might as well make it your early Christmas present on this one as a thank you for it. Well, we were planning to keep this under wraps a little bit longer, but yeah, you may have we thought, fuck it, it's Christmas. Yeah, we kind of poached Bike Live. I love that Johnson's on BRB right now and doesn't actually know we've just let the cat out of the bag on this one. Whoops. Yeah. Whoops. Wasn't meant to say that, but oh well, who cares? But yeah, it's coming over, to say the least. And the reason being was because we were just kind of sick and tired of Downforce's shit, really. And that's the God's honest truth. Too many PR disasters, too many differences of opinion between me and certain members of management. Certain people within the company did things that I didn't agree with, like, for example, faking a story to go on Judge Rinder. For example, yeah, just little things like that. Just over time, like me and Lewis, because me and Lewis are really kind of like the more managerial heads behind the show. Lewis is such a hard worker. He's the guy that creatively made it go, but I was just
Lewis
there as
the
an
MVP.
opinion. Yeah, and so yeah, basically, we got tired of it, and we felt like we can take this show further without being under the Downforce umbrella. And you know, me, Lewis, and Bex bashed our heads together. We thought, why not just put it on Motorsport 101 as a second show? And yeah, we felt like that was the best way to go about it.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of nagging you all about it. I was a bit like, what if we do this?
You did. Yeah. So
Jake, I'm sorry.
yeah, Johnson's persistent. But he was only persistent because he believed in us that much. And that's
because I was so heated that when you had an interview with the new reigning Moto3 world champion, it only got about 12 hits.
So simply put, I genuinely did not plan to let this out of the bag so early, but I thought at this point we might as well let it be known. So you guys that are still with us, congrats, you now know first. But yeah,
this is what you have to do. You have to sit through a crap Dre booty call story to get Motorsport.
Like, quite frankly, after subjecting you to half an hour of that, it's the least I can do, quite frankly. So yeah, next year we're gonna have 2 shows instead of 1. Hooray! More podcasts for you guys to listen to. And if you've ever listened to Bike Live, you know that that is a massive deal, that basically we can kind of go uncensored, so to speak. So we can be even more...
From barely censored.
Yeah, we were PG-13 to rated R now, basically. And we are all really excited to get this underway.
Bike Live Attitude Era begins.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait for season 4 of Bike Live. That'll be, again, most likely February and March, and we can't wait to get it going. But we thought, given it's Christmas, we might as well tell you now. But yeah, 2 shows next year. We can't wait. We're so excited.
You won't have to hear me and Johnson try to sound insightful about MotoGP anymore.
And it also means that we can spend more time watching other forms of motorsport and dedicating that to Motorsport 101 instead. Because I know we've been inundated with requests to start watching DTM, or maybe watch IMSA, or watch more NASCAR, so on and so forth. And maybe
I'm not even watching NASCAR anymore. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, even though NASCAR's kind of under wraps, for at least for Johnson, at least for now, in the time being. We can't wait, and we can Motorsport 1 episodes aren't going to be ridiculously long anymore, probably. We can have more alternative segments. We can stretch the format out a little bit more as well, because we're not going to have probably half an hour of bikes to talk about. We'll have our own dedicated 2-hour show for that as well now. I hope you guys like. I was seeing the chat right now. You guys are very excited. Bless you. That's we can't wait to get going. We're just trying to knock our heads together to get a plan together. You guys are asking about a second draft. It will be a bike edition, and we are going to get Lewis and Bex on there somehow. We just got to try and get a date together where all 5 of us can be available for it. That's the only issue. But
love Rhino's take on it. Basically, Bike Live's becoming Motorsport 101 SmackDown.
Yeah.
They're certainly not the B show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Avoid being raw.
So yeah, we can't wait. I was bursting to let the cat out of the bag on this one, and only really I didn't tell a single soul about this. Only person that knew was my brother and my mother that said this was going to happen. Nobody else knew outside of the people that are in our Slack chat. So
put it this way, not even I knew that it was actually going to happen. About a week before, we had discussions, and we were still not certain that it was actually going to happen. And then a week later, you were like, "Yeah, we've just had the meeting with Downfalls guys. It's happening." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah." And for the record as well, I want to personally thank Jake Sanson, not only for letting us keep the name and all the creative assets that came with Bike Live, but also letting us keep the name and, basically giving us his blessing to do whatever the hell we want with the name and the assets. And that was a pretty commendable thing to do, because he would have had every right really to say, well, I'm not really comfortable with you doing that. But he was very proud of us. We had the meeting, and, Jake has always been a firm believer in us. And he says he was gutted to let us go, but he knew what the situation was, and he knew that ultimately Downforce, we told him himself, it was a brand that was trying to enhance the talents of young people like me, like Bex, like Lewis, as opposed to...
Me and Dre both got our first big motorsport broadcasting breaks on Downforce.
Yeah, and for that I'm truly grateful. And I'm truly grateful that Jake believed in me as a talent back in 2014 when we first started this. Actually, it was 20. Yeah, it was 2014. Yeah, it was 14 when we first started. And yeah, it was Jake that gave me the first real chance. And to his credit, as much as it begrudges me, it was Woodwiss to put the call in for me in the first place. So this podcast would never have been what it would, as a network, would never be what it is today if it wasn't for Scott Woodwiss, which kind of burns my tongue to even say, because I've known him for like 6 years now, through the internet in various capacities. But yeah, that's that was our big announcement we had saved up. And if you haven't heard it, well, whoops, first of all, but there'll be more finalizing details coming up in the new year. But yeah, I thought that would be like King was like King. It was King's fault. He made me say it.
I didn't make you say anything. Someone asked in the chat.
Well, given that it was a question that was asking why Bike Life ended, I couldn't. If I said the full story as to why Bike Life stopped, people would probably have put 2 and 2 together anyway. And I'm surprised not many people did in the first place, even though we did kind of tease it on a couple of episodes of the podcast on numerous occasions.
The only way you could have connected 2 and 2, based on like what we've said on the show, you'd have to like have the full picture of like the Slack chat and everything.
Yeah, have the full picture, know who's in the Slack chat and all of that. So it probably would have been quite hard to piece together anyway, but there you go. Now you know. So yeah, we'll have an announcement planned, an official announcement and all that planned up in the next few weeks. We're going to have a second draft probably in the new year at some point.
Yes, the International Fantasy Draft 2.
Biking edition. This time I won't get screwed by Chris Cook. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much that. I've got another 15 minutes or so if you guys want to keep asking some questions in the chat as well, if you're not already in shock by what we just announced.
Yeah, we could do silly season 2, guys. We could do silly season 2.
All right. But yeah, I was like, Ben in the chat saying the meeting with Bex wasn't a booty call, it was a bikey call. Sorry. You people are bastards. But yeah, the messages I'm saying of people just in shock, like, yeah, that's pretty sick. And everyone's like, give me Motorsport USA, give me Motorforce USA 101, baby. Oh, jeez. See what RJ does to us. He's such a bad influence. Just saying. So Dre announced a special thing to distract from the story earlier confirmed. That wasn't. Nice tweet there, Johnson. That kind of makes perfect sense, actually. Yeah, well, I still can't believe we did that, and then Johnson wasn't him, and we actually said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so it's all just kind of like it's like the after effect again here, isn't it? So it's like, and then Bombsport and chat just going, so what's going to be our NXT? I don't know. Maybe burning Johnson over an open fire might make the most sense after the way he's been today.
Hey, we're back to normal.
Yes, I'm back on form.
Well, you got to be, really.
Yeah, but now you're going to have Bex to contend with on a weekly, well, hopefully on a weekly basis.
How do you think I felt for the last 2.5 years? Like, secretly, we actually sort of get along a lot. It's really annoying. But on radio, we hate each other. But outside of that, we're like husband and wife.
Whereas Dre and I is the complete opposite.
Yeah, pretty much. I just want to kill him at every given opportunity. But, yeah, for those that didn't see it, when I was out with her a couple of weeks ago, that is, like, apparently we actually secretly get along. Who knew? But,
Kayfabe,
yeah.
Dre, kayfabe.
Damn it! I broke character.
I mean, given the fact you didn't invite me, like, it must have been pretty important.
Not really. It was just, just us chilling around London and in general, and just time really. We had dinner. We talked about we got her in the Slack chat that we're in, and You know, that was, and I got roasted a lot because she thought I was a Valentino Rossi fan, and I was just like,
like, really?
We've worked together on this show for 2.5 years, and she thought I liked Rossi more than Marquez. How? I've been throwing Rossi under the bus for 1.5 years. Like, I just find it amazing.
That literally couldn't make any sense if it tried.
Nope. Not at all.
It didn't. Yeah, it's just, you know. Oh, dear. I just spotted the tweet from Motors TV saying, "You lied to me when you said that you retired. You lied to me. Yes, we cried. Yes, we cried. Return of the Mass. Return of the Mass." Like, it's a retirement song for Felipe Massa in the words to Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac. It's gold. Oh, hi, Kendra.
Hello.
You here to impede my fun again? You're live on the internet, by the way.
Where's Ryan?
He's right there.
Hello.
Yes, he's my partner in crime on the podcast.
I can.
Yeah, like, you seem so confused by this.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Really,
Guys, hey Kendra.
Where are you?
His camera isn't on, but he can hear him. Like, you saw Adam. He's been in that house before.
I'm omnipresent.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
She's doing the John Cena.
No, she's just waving like a normal human being, Adam.
I thought she was doing the "You Can't See Me." I'm like John Cena now. Do. Pretty much. Right, well, meantime, fellas, I've got to bail now. My friends come over, and we're now going to play games that are. Well, what's the latest game we're going to play? Probably from the PlayStation 2 era.
Oh, what are you playing?
Good question.
I brought everything.
He's brought everything, apparently.
Oh,
So
wow.
It could be Days of Thunder. It could be Micro Machines. It could be some shit
not
game
Days
like
of
Midas.
Thunder. Not Days of Thunder.
No, not Days of Thunder. I don't want to play that. It'll probably be like a Gran Turismo or something.
Yeah.
But like a good one.
So yeah, I think we'll just about call it a wrap then. I think it seems about fitting. We've done 2.25 hours.
You don't have to because of me.
Well, I mean, we did 2.25 hours. We got to enjoy the rest of this day off at some point. Kendra is there. It's the perfect way to say goodbye.
Hey.
But yeah, guys, pleasure as always. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love that Glenn in the chat just says we needed some positive news after all the disappointment. I guess so. But I hope you guys are as excited as we are for the announcement and the news. It's been in the works for about 5 or 6 months now, and I'm glad it's finally out there in the open. Sort of. That's about what's going on. But again, stick around, stay tuned. There's a lot to there's a lot to digest. But as time goes on, you'll be seeing a lot more plans about the off season going forward. Say good night, Kendra.
And it's bye from me. Bye.
She's a natural. But yeah, again, in case we don't get any videos out there between now and Sunday, have a wonderful Christmas season to all you guys out there. Have a very Merry Christmas and have a happy holidays and all that good shit. Of course, you can find us on Twitters, all in the description down below. Keep following and keep supporting us, and I'll have something of a Christmas message up there on Christmas Day.
Because who cares about the Queen's Christmas message?
Dre's Christmas message is way more important than that. We all know that. Like I just gave you a booty call and an earth-shattering announcement. What more could you out? Like, to be fair, the order of which of importance could be debatable here. But
True.
Oh dear. But yeah, it's also one of those things where I'm excited to share what's coming up. I'll be on YouTube on Christmas Day, that's for sure. Most likely, I almost always traditionally have a Christmas video out there. I have to dig out my old Santa hat at some point, but because that's what we do around here. But yeah, looking forward to that. There's a whole heap of stuff coming up very very soon. But yeah, that'll just about do it. again, have a wonderful Christmas. If I'll see you on the day, more than likely. But if not, by any some miracle, have a wonderful holiday season from me, Adam, and Ryan. Johnson's going to go off and play some PS2 games because he's still stuck in 2006.
What's nice to hear? NASCAR was much better then.
Shut up. I'm going to deal with the Twitter backlash of letting way too much out of the bag today. But who cares? It was fun. But
King's off to run for the DNC in the primary.
Yeah, I'll be there 3 years early, just waiting.
He'll be waiting for his favorite journalist crush to come over to the United States at some point.
Whoa! Stop trying to distract from your own issues.
I was going to say,
how dare you? But until then, I've been Andre Harrison. He's
just
been
be a tournament friend from York. That would explain a lot.
You fucker. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care. Sayonara.
Bye, guys.
Bye.